Shauna?
Yeah, it's felt like summer out there for a lot of locations inland, especially with temperature highs today in the 80s in downtown LA, about 84 degrees here today. We had 81 for Van Nuys, some 70s in Ventura County, and up in the deserts, 60s and 70s as well. So all of us seeing warm and above average highs for winter. Forgetting that it's December altogether because of these temperatures. Right now it's nice and cool for you in downtown LA, about 63, but warmer as you head to the valley, 72 in Thousand Oaks, 69 in Van Nuys, and some cooler 50s and 60s out towards the IE. And compared to this time yesterday, we are seeing some spots where it is getting a little bit cooler, but I will tell you, because those overnight lows do not have the cloud coverage in place. But the daytime highs, as soon as we get the sun, they go up. So winter warmth is expected to continue again. We're going to peak these temperatures as we head to Wednesday, and then possible record highs. So we'll monitor that as well. As we get to Thursday, a little bit of a change, cooler into the weekend, but it's not going to be by much. I'll show you just how much here coming up in your 7-day forecast. Back to you.
Short sleeves.
Now it is hot once again. Short sleeves, right? And some flip-flop weather, especially inland. Pasadena, you've been pretty warm here, and tomorrow we're going to be even warmer with 85 degrees on the way expected. 82 as we get to Thursday, then a slight cool down into the weekend to the 70s. But even at that, that is above average for this time of year. So we're looking at more winter warmth. Doesn't feel like December, but it is. And we're going to continue to see that here this week. Peak heat will be tomorrow. And then we get to possible record highs here tomorrow as afternoon as well. So we'll monitor that right around 3, 4 o'clock to give you the updates on what we got here for tomorrow. But it'll be the warmest day of the week. And then we see those changes. So in terms of record watch, here's where we may get close or even tie records. This is a look at the valleys. Burbank about 86 for tomorrow. Record is 88, so we just need 2 degrees to tie that record. Riverside 87 expected tomorrow, and the old record's about 87, so we could tie that. Downtown LA about 85 with the old record at 87, and Long Beach also looking at some 80s tomorrow once again, with a record high at upper 80s for you, about 86 degrees. Still looking at that air quality alert till midnight, so no burning of any wood or pellets inside or outside. We want to keep that pollution low here as we don't have a lot of wind movement, but we do have a little bit of movement out there to give us this warm air. So we've got to be making its way in. It's kind of been parked over the ocean, and as we do the weekend, we do expect it to move inland, and that's going to help bring temperatures down. But because we have another one right behind it, can't really see it right now, but this one is going to keep it nice and mild for us and direct any of the storms that are trying to approach up to the north. So we are looking dry in Southern California. Meanwhile, Pacific Northwest and areas to our north will be looking at some weather and cooler temperatures. So this is the place to be if you like weather that is warm and not winter-like. We are going to see another day tomorrow that's very mild and, in fact, hot for some. Close to 90 degrees for the Inland Empire in San Bernardino and Riverside. Hemet, you'll be at about 87, some low 80s for Anaheim and Irvine. West Covina 84, 85 in downtown LA with Van Nuys at 85. And in the deserts, we've got some 70s in Victorville and Lancaster. A warm day tomorrow, and we continue to see this mild weather all throughout next week. Even though we cool down, all of these numbers are going to be above average. Now, average highs are usually in the 60s this time of year, so it does not feel like that. We're going to be in the 80s again for the next couple days. 70s to follow Friday, Saturday, and low 70s as we head to Sunday and Monday. Hanukkah is on Sunday, and it'll feel mild out there from the coast of the basin and inland. We've got some 60s and mid-70s in the Inland Empire and in the valleys, so it's going to feel warm. All right, everybody, we've got some morning fog approaching as we head to the weekend, and then afternoon sunshine and temperatures cooler. High desert 60s for you here as we head to Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. And for the mountains, finally looking at June, no weather to report except for sunshine and temperatures in the 60s and in the 50s next week. Looking great. All right, everyone, stay cool out there. Hard to believe because it's December. We'll have another update for you here coming up at 11 o'clock.
It's December in LA.
I know, but look at this. It doesn't look like it, right? These were the highs today. We were at 84 in downtown LA. Didn't beat a record, but it was definitely much warmer than average. All west of the mountains, we have 70s and 80s here for your daytime highs. And we're going to see a little bit more of a warm up here tomorrow as well, with temperatures peaking as we head to Wednesday. So earlier today, again, 60s and 70s for Victorville and Lancaster. Oxnard, you're at 79. Van Nuys, 81. And LAX, about 81 degrees. Coming up, I'm going to talk about just how long this warmth is going to last, because tomorrow is expected to be the warmest day of the week. And then we're going to see a little change for the weekend. All of that and more coming up in your 7-day forecast. Just Sunday, back to you. Moon, our director Dave told me about it, and it's like, hey, there's a nice moon on the camera, so we put it up to show you. It's nice and clear. You can see the moon, and as we head to tomorrow without the marine layer, we're heating up fast. So this is a look towards Burbank. Out in Pasadena, your highs tomorrow will be in the 80s, and it's going to be the warmest day of the week before we start cooling down. Now, notice how even if we cool down into the weekend, we're still well above average. Your average highs for this time of year in the 60s, and we're in the 70s all the way through next week. So very warm weather for us here in December. It is going to continue with a peak heat tomorrow for this week, and then we are going to see possible record highs for some locations. It is going to be pretty close in some spots. If you thought today was warm, it's going to be even warmer tomorrow. We have very light wind right now. So where you're seeing the wind is in Santa Clarita, and this is an offshore wind. And so with that, we've had the weak winds allow things to warm up, and we're going to see that again tomorrow. So your future cast for that showing that we are going to have those light winds in the morning. Peaking as we head to the lunchtime hour, nothing that's advisory level, everything below that. But just a nice breeze through those typical wind-prone spots, allowing things to warm up. Now, I fast-forwarded all the way into the weekend because we are going to see a reversal of wind, and that's going to change what we're going to feel here out the door. And record highs here for tomorrow. Again, not so much changing, but we'll get pretty close in some spots like Burbank. Old record 88, we're going to get to 86 possibly tomorrow. If we get to 88, we'll tie that. Possible tie for Riverside. Downtown LA getting close, 85 degrees tomorrow with Long Beach at 81. Old record there at 86. So you got about 5 degrees to go before we even tie that. We'll watch it for you and give you updates. All right, air quality alert still till midnight tonight. Please do not burn any wood or anything outside in your fireplaces or outdoor places. We just don't want any pollution towards the atmosphere. Not a lot of wind, very light wind, and a ridge of high pressure. Look at this. We've got a dry California all the way through the weekend. All the storms get directed up to the north, so Pacific Northwest pretty busy as that ridge keeps all those storms up and out of our way. So this is why we're going to see those 80s for the next few days. A peak warmth tomorrow, and then into the weekend, we continue to see the warmth as we head to the new week as another ridge of high pressure is right behind it. So even warmer tomorrow, close to 90 degrees in the Inland Empire. We've got 80s in Orange County, a mid-80 day in Los Angeles with 80s through the valleys, 70s for the deserts. Looking forward, we did mention a slight cool down day by day, but it's very gradual. So Thursday, still in the 80s. We'll get to the 70s on Friday. Then this weekend, we've got temperatures going down to the 70s, but stay above average. So average highs, 60s for us, but we're going to see some 70s as we head to next week. Valley forecast still very warm tomorrow, about 86 for you there, 87 for the IE, low 80s for Thursday. Then we get to the weekend, we've got some 70s on the way, and even next week, we still stay in the mid to upper 70s Monday and Tuesday. So this warmth continues for the next at least week and a half. All right, high desert, we've got not a lot of wind for you, 70s and 60s on the way, and the mountain forecast, nice and dry, nothing but sunshine all the way through next week. That has been your forecast. We'll send it over to James now, the Check of Sports. Hi, James.